Hi everyone, hope you're all doing really well. Welcome back to another video, another renovation vlog. I hope you're all having a lovely week so far. It's currently very early on Friday morning for me and I'm at the house. There's a few things going on today. There's people from the water board here already, like closing off the footpath and stuff, ready to connect our pipe, so that should hopefully, fingers crossed, all be done by the end of today and we'll have water again. I'm also waiting for a delivery of all of our insulation for downstairs, so hopefully if we get time over the weekend, me and Louis might be able to tackle a little bit of that and see if we can get some of the insulation in place. But yeah, I just wanted to start this video with a little bit of a chatty, realistic catch up, I suppose. I've sort of like let the videos just take a back seat for only for a couple of weeks, just because I feel a little bit, not uninspired, but like I don't want to just keep showing you the same thing, and it's getting me down a little bit that I don't have like big updates every video. I am just sort of like, we are making progress and we're completely on our own now, and it's just Louis doing the electrics and one of Louis' friends doing the plumbing. We've got the plasterer who is ready when we're ready, but there's so many other things that we need to do before the plasterboard can go on. And yeah, this week, I don't know why, just unexpectedly, nothing has like changed, nothing has gone wrong or like touch wood. But yeah, I don't know what happened this week. I just had a breakdown. I just had an absolute breakdown and spent all day crying, just on and off all day, properly sobbing. If anybody watching this video is doing a renovation and feels the same, or has done a renovation and has been in this situation, leave me a comment and give me a little bit of a boost, because yeah, things are just getting to me, and I don't even think it's just a lot of different things. And I think the biggest thing was just the state that this house is in, and I never expected it to get this bad. Obviously we've never done this before, I didn't know what to expect, and looking back I wish we'd have moved all of our stuff out of the house. I think that's what was getting to me, because we're still living at Louis' mum's. We never ever planned on moving out. We were fully like here throughout everything. We lived here throughout the whole build, the whole time the builders were here. Luckily it was in the middle of summer, but we just had like half of the house was just boarded. We didn't have walls. Like it got so bad, and we still managed, but it hit a point where we just couldn't do it anymore. And especially now with the whole situation with the water pipe and just there's floorboards up upstairs, like we couldn't have continued living here, and Nelson couldn't have been here. Nelson's our dog, by the way. But yeah, things did just get too bad and we just had to bite the bullet and move out. It's been a couple of months now that we haven't lived here, but I just miss my house. I miss my old life. I miss being at home, and there's nowhere else I would rather be than at home. Even in our old house, we're not the type of couple that, or I'm not the type of person that's like here, there and everywhere, out and about, like always busy. I just like to be at home. I just like to potter around at home. And I think the change of season has really gotten to me, because all of like the clothes and everything that I had at Louis' mum's was all summer stuff, and I was struggling to just find clothes to wear like day to day, clothes for work. When we moved into Louis' mum's, it was like during the summer and I was off work. I'm off during the school holidays, so it was very different to then like now being back at work and needing like work clothes and work shoes, and I didn't know where anything was in this house. And everything, literally every bit of furniture, every item of clothing, pair of shoes, our plates, our glasses, everything is covered in dust. We haven't even like covered anything with sheets or anything like that, and I think it's just because we've just, once the builders left, we've just had, I suppose in our heads, like a clear plan of what we needed. It was just get the first fix electrics, the first fix plumbing and the plasterboard on, and like that's all we were bothered about. And sort of prepping the house didn't even cross our mind, because I don't think either of us thought that it was going to get this bad. I personally thought that like the building work and the dust and everything created from that was going to be the worst part. So when the builders were finished and they left, I thought, right, great, let's like clean up a little bit, it'll be fine. And things have just spiraled. And yeah, I don't know what, like last week I was absolutely fine, and I know this is all just part of a renovation. I think I've done pretty well to not have too many like breakdowns so far, but yeah, I was just very, very fragile and wobbly on Wednesday, and yeah, it was all just getting a little bit too much, and I just wanted to be even just back in this house. Or like, I was just remembering this time last year we were in our old house, our new build that was just lovely, and I'd have my candles on a Friday night, and we'd be waiting for a takeaway, we'd have the fire on, we'd be watching a series. Like, outside of mine and Louis' full-time jobs, this just takes over the rest of like our time, our mental capacity. Louis comes straight here after work and works here until it gets dark. He spends his weekends here. We have nothing else going on at the moment, and I know like we're just in probably the most intense bit, because we're getting there slowly, but all we need is like the plasterboard on, the boiler in, hot water, and we can start to have a little bit of a clean up and think about moving back in when things are like better, basically. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to like ramble on and just sit here and complain, but that has been my week this week. So I'm feeling a little bit more positive, I think, today. I don't know whether it's just because it's Friday, but the plasterer came round a couple of days ago, and another thing that had came up that we hadn't really thought of or considered, or we didn't know, but we need all of the door frames in before the plasterboard goes on, which Louis has done all of like the stud work. He has built all of our stud walls and everything, and he'll turn his hand to anything, and he's done a good job, but I don't think he was fully confident with doing all of the door frames, which then meant that we needed to try and find a joiner, and unfortunately a joiner is like the one thing that we don't know someone. We don't have like a friend that can do a couple of nights work for us, but we needed these door frames doing as soon as possible, because that is all like we're waiting for. Apart from the insulation, we need to get that in place before the plasterboard goes on. The only other thing that we're waiting for now is the door frames to go in. So yeah, our plasterer came round and he was saying that he'd done all of his own door frames himself, and he was like encouraging Louis that he would be able to do it, but he did offer to just help Louis out and come and like work a couple of nights after work to help Louis do these door frames, which was really nice of him, and that is quite a big weight off my shoulders anyways, because I feel like we can move forward now, hopefully quicker than obviously if we'd have needed to get a joiner. So yeah, Louis is going to buy the wood after work tonight, and that'll probably be his job over the weekend. Our plumber did say that in terms of like the second fix, so like putting the boiler in, putting all of the radiators on, he said that should hopefully only take like a couple of nights, because he just comes and does stuff for us after he's been at work as well. That's why obviously things have been a lot slower for us because our plumber's just been helping us after he's been at work all day, still like doing his full-time job and then doing this as an extra. Same with Louis, obviously he's just been doing the electrics after work. So yeah, anyway, we're moving forward, we are getting somewhere, but I'm not really sure what to do with these videos because, like I said, I don't want to just keep going over the same things, and there's nothing major to show. Obviously I'll just keep the video running and just update you as things happen, but I really wanted to have like a set day and have a video each week being uploaded, but I just don't think that there's enough like interesting things happening within a week for me to film it all, edit it and get it uploaded within a week. So I think I'm just gonna have to like ease the pressure a little bit and just vlog whatever is happening, and if that means that it's just a video like every 10 days or every 2 weeks or something, I would rather have better quality videos with like interesting stuff in them rather than just sort of like rambling my way through a video just so that I can upload one every week, if that makes sense. So yeah, hopefully this delivery that I'm waiting for today won't come too late, because it's just said between 7:30 and 6 o'clock tonight, so I could be sat here all day long. I don't know how long this water pipe will take. They're out there now doing whatever they need to do, so yeah, if nothing else interesting happens today, I will pick you up at some point over this weekend and show you what Louis is getting up to. But yeah, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoy.
There is only one of you, only one of me. There's a million of those who won't let us be, but they're not gonna see me bleed. Cause baby, I got you. I've been beaten to the ground, dragged across the dirt. I've been scared to live cause some people never learn, but they're not gonna watch me burn. Cause baby, I got you. It's a new beginnings and a better life. It's the dancing underneath the disco lights. They can try but they can never take me down. Ooh, cause I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. They always bring all the lonely, but with you here nothing can scare me. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. I will tell them what I'm feeling forevermore.
Insulation's going in.
Just about.
What's your plan then?
Plan is to put all this insulation in, leave the window one, because I'm going to get some wood like that one there,
This one here.
and do that both sides of every window, so it's like sort of the windows like boxed.
Yeah.
Like did. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Yeah, so this is like the thermal insulation board that we've got, so this only needs to go on this vaulted ceiling bit, and then everywhere else is like the fluffy acoustic insulation. So we've got like, is it wire? What is it?
No,
not wire, but just something there, whatever it is,
cable like sleeve.
so that we can sort of like thread that between each beam, are we?
Yeah.
And then
well,
like
if we need to
stuff all of the fluffy insulation in the ceiling, and then we'll put a little bit in the stud walls, but I think we'll just do that as he's putting the plasterboard on.
Take it off as he's plastering.
Yeah, because there's only like the 2 walls there and then 2 stud walls there that actually need it in. Oh, and we need to put it round this pipe as well. We'll stuff loads of insulation in there.
Yeah. Won't it make a big frame as well?
Yeah.
Off here, up to box this in.
Yeah.
And pass it and pass around it. Got all the muggins on that side.
On the other side?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's what the plasterboard will stick to.
And on there.
And above there.
And then obviously we have to change it up on this side because that's go out like 50 minutes. About here. So the plumber's put his in.
Yeah.
We won't use them. We'll just come up with some idea.
So insulation, then frame around here, then door frames.
Yep.
I'm cleaning up. It's still a mess. It doesn't look like I've cleaned off. I've cleaned, well, tried to get rid of this pile of rubble here, and then I'm gonna just try and clean up as much as I can and then sand all of the, like the doors and stuff, I think, upstairs, just ready to paint them because they're all like shiny wood. So I'll sand them, and then when we move in, or just before we move in, I can paint everywhere.
Aye. A lot of painting to do.
I know.
It'd be nice to chill out and watch you graft.
Well, no, you can help me.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do
Why?
Because
There's no reason why you can't paint.
no reason why you can't put insulation up.
Go on then.
To.
Oh, why? I'll do it. So this pile will be gone soon, and then do you want to get all of the bits of wood out of here that you want to keep so I can just sweep everything?
No, you can't.
Well, I don't know what you want to keep.
So all this? All like the substantial bits?
I'm giving up on this banister, by the way. So I've sanded literally probably about 70% of this banister, and I can't do it anymore, so I'm just going to paint it. I'm just going to paint it all white. But I'm gonna, well, I've sanded these bits just like a little bit just to get the shiny surface off them, so then I can just go over and paint it all. I've sanded this door, this door, this door and this door, but only on one side, so I need to do the other sides, and I need to do this door. I don't think I'm going to bother sanding all of the door frames because I'm only going to be painting them just to like make them look better temporarily. I need to get the rest of the wallpaper off at some point, but yeah, that is what I'm going to focus on today.
About the feelings not anymore. So let's show them that love is pure, no matter who it's for. It's a new beginnings and a better life. It's the dancing underneath the disco light. They can try, but they can never take me down. Take me down. 'Cause I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. They always.
So I'm done for the day.
That's all this.
Well, no, I've done quite a lot, but I need to go and walk the dog and get ready before we go out for tea. It looks cleaner though. I've cleared this pile in here, so this isn't, well, I haven't fully, I was hoovering, but there's no point in me cleaning it too much. And I've done a little bit in here, and I've hoovered all in here where like the back boiler was, which is just like, I don't know, like it's all like stone and brick and stuff. I've hoovered a little bit down there and just a bit in here. I think there's too much stuff for the hoover to cope with though, and Louis is still doing the insulation. Good morning everybody, it's now Sunday. I'm just about to head round to the house. Louis just rang me and said he's nipping to Discount DIY. He's been there for a couple of hours and I've just been here just doing some washing and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna nip round to the house, see what's going on, and then just see what Louis doing. If I can help him do like the installation or anything like that, then I will. But I'm rubbish at like anything sort of that you need a bit of strength for. So if not, I need to sand some more of like the doors and the woodwork and stuff, because I might as well just do that now while everywhere is messy, and then when we move in, or like just before we move back in or whatever, I can paint the banister and like the doors and all of the woodwork, just give that a nice refresh. And there's also wallpaper on some of the walls still as well, so I can take that off if I've got nothing else to do. I spent quite a lot of time cleaning yesterday, which probably is a little bit pointless because Louis was just making like mess with the insulation, because obviously he was having to like cut it and it was all just going everywhere. But I just felt like I needed to get like the bulk of the mess up, because we haven't kept on top of cleaning anything. We've literally just let it like build up, and it was really bad. So I feel a little bit better that it, sorry I keep touching my hair, I feel a little bit better that it is like a little bit tidier and maybe a little bit cleaner. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna head round there now and I will update you when I get there. Nelson's all nice and snuggly. His blanket. Aren't you? Oh, he's very tired. Very tired. Oh. So today is basically just a replica of yesterday, isn't it?
Yes. Apart from when we drill down.
Louis lost his drill. When did you last use it? Is that not it right there?
No, that's the other drill.
Louis just continuing with this insulation. Do you think you'll be finished this today?
Yeah, should be.
Should be finished. Yeah, if we've got enough. I think that's pretty much all we've got left, haven't we? There's like little offcuts everywhere. So, but there's just like a few little gaps. Well, medium-sized gaps.
Looks rubbish where the cables are, but you can't like it.
Can you not? Is that one going behind the cables?
Well, I sort of cut a bit out for the cables.
I thought you were going to try and get it behind. In case you haven't
There's not 100 mil behind.
Yeah, so that's Louis' job. I was filling.
I'm all around and I'm also putting boxing the windows in.
Boxing the windows in?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's... Well, with those bits of wood,
yeah.
You can't see because of where the light is. You can't see. Oh, there. Right, so did this one already have the bottom piece?
Yeah, so two of them had the bottom, so these two had the bottom ones in.
Yeah, so top one. He's basically put like another bit of wood there.
But then that one's got none on.
So, yeah. I was backfilling the hole, well, the trench, but some nice men did it for me, didn't they?
Yeah, Northumbrian water.
No, it wasn't Northumbrian water.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It was just the grab men. Like, I think it was just...
There's Northumbrian water on the side of the
maybe the man...
grabber. Why would Northumbrian water have someone else doing their job?
Because that's got nothing to do with the water. All they were doing was putting the earth back in the floor.
Yeah, it had Northumbrian water on the side of the digger.
Did it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. Right.
Anyway, I was busy backfilling the hole on the front, and they turned up to do a separate job, so they were just filling up the hole. They were just filling up the hole that was on like the footpath. But because I was, let me go upstairs. But because I was like shoveling all of this like mud back into the trench, he was like, oh, do you want me to just like pick it up and put it in for you? So I was like, yeah, if you don't mind. So he's basically saved me a big job and all of the trench is now full. So this is how it looks now. There used to be a big pile of like mud basically there. So he's filled all of this. So that's what they were doing. So he just did this for me at the same time. So that's cleared all of that there, and he took away anything that we didn't want because we had a big lump of like concrete that was this step, so he took that away for us. So that's a big job done. So I don't know what to do now. What should I do, Louis? I might sand, I can sand the doors and the banister. I can take the rest of the wallpaper off. If I can fill the thing up with water, it's a bit awkward. Filling the steamer up with water. Maybe I should just sand and tidy all of this that's on the floor. That's what I'll do today. So the insulation is all finished. Well done. Well, just this section, now we need to do all the rest of the house. The what?
Just downstairs. Well,
yeah, just this. Just with the rolls of like the fluffy insulation, not that stuff, because that all had to be like cut to size and stuff. And I've taken the wallpaper off here, apart from that bit at the top, because I can't get around the cables. I was going to do upstairs, but I'm going to go and walk the dog and do the tea. So yeah, that's the end of the weekend.
Another one.
Mm-hmm.
Just got some more stud work to put in. The plaster. This end. Piece here. Piece that corner. Chock them and put chocks in that beam. And I think that's all he wants. And on another piece along here.
Mm-hmm.
Catch that.
And the door frames.
Oh yeah, and obviously
Which
the
are
door
on.
frames, so you put on. That's the big job. They've never done it before. That's an absolute nightmare. That.
What is?
Well, look at the
Oh,
door.
the wall. This bit here, where all the bricks are like all over the place and stuff.
Probably set us up for a fail there. Aren't it?
Yep.
This one technically should be the easiest one because I've took one off.
Yeah, that's quite like a neat hole.
That's what they all should be like. My house just nearly fell down then. Corner there.
It didn't. But yeah, that's us done for today.
You done?
Will you go and do tea and walk the dog? I'll cut the wood.
Go on then.
I will.
Go on then. Here, pass the camera. Well, get the ladders there, right? Put it there.
No.
Measure that. And cut it a tiny bit bigger.
No.
So, do you want to just stop setting your lip up there and you go walk the dog?
Bye.
Bye.
Good afternoon, everybody. So it has been quite a while since I last spoke to you all. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't know what I'm doing from like one day to the next. So yeah, I can't really remember what I last spoke to you about, but I know it'll have been about the insulation downstairs because, what's that bit of hair doing? Because that is the last thing that was happening basically. So yeah, I can't remember exactly what I last said, but me and my dad have basically been doing the insulation for like the ceiling. So all we had to do really was drill some holes through all of the beams, run some sort of like string. We actually used like cable casing and just like ran it through all of the holes, tied a knot at the end, literally just so that there was something for the insulation to like sit on top of. Yeah, so me and my dad were doing that while Louis was doing the frame around like the pipes and the beam and stuff. So I'll show you that because he has finished the frame and we're probably like 90% done with the insulation. So now I thought that was it and we just needed the door frames on, but now Louise said that we need the aerial in the loft and cables running from the aerial like into all of the bedrooms downstairs. Anywhere that we'll have a telly or might have a telly in the future needs like an aerial cable socket thing. So that's another job that's just came up that needs doing before the plasterboard can go on. So I'll show you that now because I'm upstairs. So Louis bought a aerial the other day and put it up there. So this is obviously the loft of like the new bedroom, but as I've mentioned loads of times in previous videos, we aren't plasterboarding in here yet because we just can't afford to. So luckily, like, we don't need to do anything with this yet. We will need to get loft insulation and then obviously plasterboard the ceiling at some point. But yeah, Louise put this thing, I can't think of words today, the aerial. Louise put the aerial there and then he's having to like run cables all the way down, and then like this needs to go to downstairs and to the living room and to the extension and everywhere basically. So that's the job that he is doing now, and then I'll take you downstairs. As you can see, the rest of the house is still just pretty much looking like an absolute tip. I have done a little bit of like clearing and tidying, but in here is just a mess again. But this is what the ceiling is looking like. So this is all of the insulation that we've done. So we started in this room here. So we did all of this last week, and like a few nights after work we did as well. So yeah, we've done all of this. We've done this section, which was probably the hardest part because there was lots of different pipes and cables and we couldn't drill through some of the beams, so we had to like think of different ways to do it. We've also done this bit in here. I just need to do a little bit down there, but the rest of the utility is done. So the only bit that we've got left to do, or that I've got left to do, because I can do it on my own, is this little section here, which will literally take probably not even a couple of hours, maybe like an hour. To be honest, the thing that takes the most time is drilling all of the holes for like the string to be fed through. And obviously just making sure there's no pipes or cables on either side of the beam before you drill, and like, yeah, that's what takes the most time basically. But yeah, this won't take long at all. And then obviously we've got the door frames, which are these here. So Louis bought like a pack, I think, of like a door frame pack. So you get the 3 bits of wood, the like 2 for the sides and 1 across the top. But I do think that we are possibly, well, we've messaged a couple of joiners to see if we can get someone round to do it basically, because I don't think it'll take long for somebody who knows what they're doing, or even like for Louis, I think once he figured out what he was doing and he did like the first one, he'd be fine. But it's just a chew on, and we need to like push on now because we really need to be back in before Christmas. And all of these little jobs are delaying getting the plasterboard on, and then even once the plasterboard's on, there's going to be probably quite a bit of time that we maybe need to leave it for like the plaster to dry. And then we also need like the boiler put in place and all the radiators putting on and everything, so that we can actually live here. So yeah, we're just sort of at the stage where we don't really have the time for Louis to sort of figure out how to do door frames and do them. There's only 5 that we need doing, so I've messaged one joiner who said he should be able to sort of fit it in on like slack days, so maybe he's like, if he's got a bit of an early finish or like on a night after work or a weekend or whatever, he does like additional jobs as well as like working. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can just get somebody in to do the door frames like as soon as possible, and then we are done. Once Louis has done the aerials and the door frames are in, we're ready for the plasterboard. We also do need to like just tidy everywhere though before the plasterer can come in. Like we can't expect like the ceilings and all of these walls to be plasterboarded when there's so much rubbish all over the place. So that is another job that we'll need doing, but obviously we can just do that as and when, and if we can get somebody to do these door frames, then that saves a bit of time. Like Louis can do the aerials, I can focus on getting everywhere clean and tidy, and then yeah, the plasterboard can go on. And this is Louis' frame as well, so this probably makes a little bit more sense now as to what we needed to do. So obviously this black pipe here needed boxing in, so Louis just built this. This did have to, even though the pipe like stops there, we had to take this right along, otherwise it would have just looked weird if it like stopped there or even like there and just like kicked in and then went along. So yeah, this has cost us a fortune basically, because wood is extortionate now, but it's done, so that's the most important thing. And he's done a very good job. It looks nice and straight, so hopefully it will be when the plasterboard goes on, but I'm sure it'll be fine. They'll be able to make it work. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. Nothing much else for me to update you on really. Obviously, like I've mentioned throughout this video, I haven't really wanted to just give you like tiny little updates every day or every few days, so I have sort of like left it a while just because yeah, things are just a little bit slow. I've gone very dark. Yeah, things are still just slow, and there's nothing really that we can do to speed it up other than like get people in, which we want to avoid doing as much as we can. But for the sake of these door frames, I literally think it'll take like a joiner who knows what he's doing. It might take like a few hours, and I'm hoping that we won't be absolutely ripped off. It might not cost us that much, but I think because we're so close to, like, not to the end, but for me getting the plasterboard on is like a massive milestone in this whole renovation, and that is basically the priority, because if we can't get the plasterboard on like before Christmas say, then we are stuck, because then we obviously can't get the boiler in, we can't have heating, we can't have hot water, and that will be a bit of a disaster. So yeah, I think just because of like the situation we're in and we're sort of like against time, we might just have to give in and just get a joiner in. But at least Louis being able to do this frame, because I think we would have, if we'd have got a joiner in to do that, it would have cost us quite a lot. So yeah, that is where we're at. Louis will be coming to the house tonight, and he'll probably be spending Saturday and Sunday afternoon here. I'm going wedding dress shopping all day tomorrow. I've got 3 appointments back to back, and I need to choose my dress tomorrow because the wedding now is in, I think it's about 10 months. Yeah, probably about 10 months. So they do say to get your dress like ideally about a year in advance, and I haven't got mine yet. So that is my day tomorrow, which I'm very excited about, but I won't be here at all tomorrow. Not that I can really offer much help, but I'll maybe come on Sunday and do that last bit of insulation in the ceiling up there, and yeah, just like spend the afternoon here clearing and tidying and just trying to move forward as quick as we can basically. So yeah, anyways, I think I'm going to leave this video here, and then I'll maybe pick you back up at some point over the weekend. Probably not tomorrow because I'm busy, but maybe Sunday if we're both at the house and there's bits going on, I'll pick you up then and start a new video. But I really hope you've enjoyed watching this one. Thank you for watching if you've been sticking around through all of this, because I do appreciate that we're not really getting anywhere fast, but this is the reality of like working full time and doing a renovation, I suppose. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one.